Welcome to Budgeting 101, your ultimate guide to financial stability. Picture this: you're in control of your money, you're reaching your financial goals, and you're living the lifestyle you want. Sounds perfect, right? Well, it's not a dream, it's the power of effective budgeting. Budgeting is the key to unlocking your financial freedom, helping you make informed decisions about your money, and setting you on the path to achieving your long-term goals. Let's dive into the world of budgeting and see how it's done, shall we? Budgeting is more than just keeping track of your cash flow. It's about taking control of your finances, understanding where your money goes, and making informed decisions to steer your financial ship in the right direction. Think of budgeting as a financial roadmap. Without it, you're essentially driving blindfolded with no clear direction or understanding of where you're headed. But a well-structured budget acts as your GPS, guiding you towards financial stability and prosperity. Now let's talk about financial stability. This doesn't mean having a lot of money. It means having enough to cover your necessities, save for the future, and still enjoy life's little pleasures without worrying about every penny. And that's where budgeting comes in. It helps you allocate your resources wisely, ensuring that you're not living paycheck to paycheck or falling into debt. Imagine trying to build a house without a blueprint. It's almost impossible, right? The same applies to your financial life. Without a budget, you're trying to build a solid financial foundation on unstable ground. But with a plan in place, you're more likely to achieve your financial goals, whether that's buying a house, starting a business, or retiring comfortably. Let's take a look at some numbers. According to a recent survey, 78% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. But among those who maintain a budget, that number drops to 58%. That's a 20% difference. And it shows how a simple act of budgeting can significantly improve your financial stability. But budgeting isn't just about the present, it's a tool that helps you plan for the future. Whether you're saving for a vacation, a new car, or your child's education, a budget helps you set aside money consistently and reach your goals faster. It's like planting a sapling today and nurturing it until it grows into a mighty tree. So let's wrap this up. Budgeting is not a chore or a restriction on your spending. It's a tool for financial freedom. It's about understanding your money, making it work for you, and paving the way for a secure financial future. A well-planned budget is the first step towards a secure financial future. Keeping an accurate record of your income and expenses is the foundation of budgeting. This is where the magic happens, folks. When you track your income and expenses, you're putting yourself in the driver's seat of your financial journey. Let's start with income. It's not just about your salary or hourly wage. Think about any money you earn regularly, whether it's from a part-time job, freelance gig, or even a side hustle. All of it counts as income and needs to be tracked. Now, on to expenses. These are all the ways you spend your money. From rent and utility bills to your morning latte, every penny counts. Tracking your expenses will allow you to see where your money is going, and perhaps more importantly, where it could be better spent. So, how do we track these figures? Well, there are several methods and tools you can use. Old-school pen and paper can do the trick. But if you're more tech-savvy, there are plenty of budgeting apps and software that can do the job for you. These digital tools can automatically track your income and expenses, categorize them, and even provide insightful reports. For instance, you might use a spreadsheet to create a visual representation of your income and expenses. This way, you can see at a glance whether you're living within your means or spending more than you earn. On the app front, there are many options available, some free, and others with premium features. These apps can connect to your bank accounts and credit cards, automatically tracking and categorizing your transactions. This gives you a real-time snapshot of your financial situation, without the need for manual data entry. But remember, the tool or method you choose is less important than the act of tracking itself. The goal is to gain awareness of your financial habits. Once you know where your money is coming from and where it's going, you're in a much better position to make informed decisions about your budget. With accurate tracking, you'll get a clear picture of your financial health. And that, friends, is the first step towards financial freedom. So, start tracking your income and expenses today. Your future self will thank you. Goals give direction to your budgeting efforts. This isn't just a catchy phrase, it's a fundamental truth when it comes to managing your finances. Without clear financial goals, you're like a ship without a compass, drifting aimlessly in a vast ocean of income and expenses. So, how do you set these goals? Well, they need to be smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Let's break that down. Specificity is key. Instead of saying, I want to save money, try, I want to save $2,000 for a vacation. This gives your goal a clear target to aim for. Next, make sure your goal is measurable. How will you track your progress? In the case of our vacation fund, you could say, I will set aside $100 from my paycheck each month. Your goal also needs to be achievable. It's fantastic to aim high, but setting a goal that's beyond your reach can lead to disappointment and demotivation. If saving $100 a month feels too steep, adjust the amount to something more manageable. Relevance is also crucial. Your goals should align with your life's bigger picture. If you're not interested in traveling, saving for a vacation might not motivate you. Instead, you could aim to save for a new car, a down payment on a house, or even a fancy new gadget. Finally, your goal should be time-bound. When do you want to achieve this by? Setting a deadline adds urgency and helps keep you on track. For our vacation fund, you could aim to save the $2,000 within a year. But remember, financial goals aren't just about saving for big-ticket items. They can also include short-term goals like paying off credit card debt, building an emergency fund, or even just cutting back on takeout meals. These goals, both big and small, serve as the guiding stars for your budget. They give you a clear sense of direction and purpose, helping you make informed decisions about where your money goes. Remember, your budget is a tool to help you achieve these goals. And by setting smart goals, you're not just budgeting. You're paving your path to financial freedom. Every dollar you spend has a category. Let's learn how to identify them. When it comes to managing your finances, knowing where your money goes is half the battle. This is where categorizing your expenses comes in handy. Essentially, expenses can be divided into two main categories: fixed and variable. Fixed expenses are those that stay relatively constant from month to month. Think of your rent or mortgage, utilities, car payment, insurance, or gym membership. These are expenses that you can't easily change in the short term and are often essential for your day-to-day living. On the other hand, variable expenses fluctuate from month to month. These include groceries, entertainment, dining out, personal care, and clothing. What makes variable expenses unique is their flexibility. You have control over these costs and can adjust them based on your current financial situation or goals. Now let's talk about the process of categorizing your expenses. Start by listing all your expenses for a typical month. Don't worry if it's not perfect. The goal is to get a general idea of where your money is going. Once you have your list, begin sorting each expense into the appropriate category, fixed or variable. While categorizing, you might come across some expenses that don't fit neatly into either category, like a semi-annual car insurance payment or yearly subscription service. These are known as periodic expenses. They may not occur monthly, but it's crucial to account for them in your budget. Now take a good look at your categorized expenses. Are there areas where you're spending more than you thought? Are there variable expenses you could cut back on? This process can reveal patterns in your spending that you weren't aware of before. Remember, the goal of categorizing your expenses isn't to make you feel guilty about your spending habits. It's about gaining a clear understanding of where your money is going so you can make informed decisions about your finances. Categorizing expenses helps you identify potential savings and manage your money better. You're now one step closer to creating a budget that works for you, so keep up the good work. With your income, expenses, and goals clear, it's time to create your budget. Think of your budget as a financial blueprint, a design for your money that helps you allocate your resources efficiently. But how do you create one? Well, you could use a simple spreadsheet or a budgeting app, or even a piece of paper and a pencil if you're old school. But the tool you use isn't as important as the thinking behind it. First, list down all your sources of income. This includes your salary, any freelance work, rental income, and so on. Write down the total amount that you earn each month after tax. This is your net income. Next, write down all your expenses. Remember, we've already categorized them into fixed and variable expenses. Your fixed expenses are those that remain the same each month, like rent or mortgage payments, car payments, and insurance. Variable expenses, on the other hand, fluctuate each month. These include groceries, entertainment, and personal care items. Now subtract your total expenses from your total income. This is your net cash flow. If it's a positive number, congratulations, you're living within your means. If it's negative, don't panic. This is where your budget can help you adjust your spending habits and get back on track. Allocate a percentage of your income to each category of expenses. For instance, you might decide to allocate 35% of your income to housing, 15% to food, 10% to entertainment, and so on. The key here is to ensure that the total doesn't exceed 100%. Don't forget to allocate a portion of your income to savings and investments. These might seem like optional categories, but they're crucial for achieving your financial goals and building financial security. Even a small amount saved each month can add up to a significant nest egg over time. Finally, review your budget regularly and adjust as needed. Your financial situation can change, and your budget should adapt to those changes. A well-crafted budget plan is like a roadmap to your financial goals. It's not just about controlling your money, but making sure your money is helping you get where you want to go. So, start planning today, and take control of your financial future. A budget isn't set in stone. It should evolve with your financial situation. Just as the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, so too does the journey to financial freedom begin with tracking your budget. Without a doubt, the key to a successful budget is monitoring your expenses against your plan. It's like setting the destination in your GPS. If you don't check your progress along the way, how will you know if you're still on the right track? Start by checking in on your budget regularly. Some find it helpful to do this daily, while others prefer a weekly or monthly check-in. Find what works best for you and stick to it. It's crucial to compare your actual spending with your budgeted amounts. This exercise will highlight any discrepancies and help you identify where you might be overspending. But what happens when you find yourself constantly going over budget in certain areas? Don't panic. Remember, a budget is a flexible tool, not a rigid framework. It's normal to have to adjust your budget, especially when you're first starting out or when your circumstances change. Perhaps you underestimated how much you spend on groceries each month, or maybe you've received a raise at work. These are good reasons to reevaluate and adjust your budget. After all, your budget should reflect your current reality, not a set of outdated assumptions. So how do you adjust your budget? First, look at the categories where you're overspending. Is there a way to cut back? If not, you might need to reduce spending in other areas to balance things out. If you're underspending in some categories, consider redirecting those funds to areas where you're overspending, or to your savings goals. Remember, the goal of a budget isn't to restrict your spending. It's to give you control over your money and help you make informed decisions. It's a tool that should serve you, not the other way around. So don't be afraid to make changes as needed. And finally, be patient with yourself. Budgeting is a skill, and like any skill, it takes time to master. Don't get discouraged if your budget isn't perfect right away. Keep tracking, keep adjusting, and keep moving forward. Regular tracking and adjustment keeps your budget relevant and effective. And remember, every step you take towards better budgeting is a step towards financial freedom. Budgeting might seem daunting initially, but with practice it becomes a habit. We've explored the importance of budgeting for financial stability and achieving long-term goals. We've walked through the steps of tracking income and expenses, setting smart financial goals, categorizing expenses, creating a budget plan, and the necessity of regular tracking and adjustments. Remember, a budget is a tool, and its effectiveness depends on how you use it. So start budgeting today and take control of your financial future. Thank you for staying with us in this journey of budgeting 101. We hope you now feel empowered to take control of your finances. For more insights, check out our other videos. Stay tuned for more financial tips. Until next time, happy budgeting.